Hello out there, Real Estate Lab viewers. Thank you for checking out our podcast. I am one of 3 full-time local specialist realtor extraordinaires ready to talk about our episode for episode 75, houses near the $17 billion Taylor, Texas plant. So let's get started. We are working on getting Liberty in here.
I'm here, guys. I am verbally here for those of you listening at home, and this is me.
We're working on our picture. All right, so we could jump into it here. JJ Tolentino with the Next Level Property Group, KW Realty. Ian,
what's up?
You can introduce yourself and let's talk a little bit about what you know about the actual plant. Like what's going on? Why is there so much semiconductor activity in this area of Texas and the greater Austin area?
So first, let me pull up a map while we're talking about it. So I'm going to pull up a map real quick. And while I'm working on pulling up the map, I just want to talk about first, in case you didn't know, this is streamed on Spotify and everything else. Dinosaur D says Liberty's been sucked up by the tornado and thrown into the black hole. There was a tornado in Texas. For those of you that don't know, so once again, you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, all that sort of stuff. But also, I'm posting in here. We are. Oh! Do you hear that?
What's up?
Stop it, people! You hear this? It's the ads from the articles. Isn't that frustrating?
Yeah, you don't know.
There we go. Okay, so what I wanted to show was the map. So in Taylor, Texas, we have this here. Can you see this? There we go. All right.
Northeast area of the greater Austin area.
You have a lot going on in Taylor, and Austin's down here. So there's some growth south. There's growth north along I-35. Okay. There's growth west, northwest, and there's growth. God, there's growth everywhere, far east. But Taylor is one of those places that you see all this green. There's nothing around here.
Rural, as opposed to
rural.
Developed.
But along 130, you have all sorts of industrial facilities. Okay, so you have Amazon is along here. Samsung is already along here. There's a little private airport along here. Tesla is along here. Well, Samsung is like, okay, there's all this green.
I'll also point out Round Rock East, like North Austin has Dell.
Yeah, Dell's already along there. Kalahari was put along here. So Samsung decided to place a plant. It's like right about this area near Taylor. So it's within the Taylor jurisdiction, but there's nothing else around. So they got the land at a discount. So that's the first thing. Also, there's Bitcoin mining operations. There's at least 2 Bitcoin mining operations in the city of Rockdale, which is right here. So Rockdale, Thrall, and then Taylor. So there's a little bit going out here. And if you keep going out along 79, you'll eventually get to, it's well past Houston and Dallas, but kind of that direction of Houston and Dallas, right? In between the two.
For the viewers, can you show how far Taylor is from like downtown Austin?
Yeah, good question. So if I pull up Taylor,
because a lot of people
I go directions to, let's say, Domain. And the only reason is because there's a lot happening in the Domain. But right now, 32 minutes if you take 79 and the tolls.
Half an hour from a North Austin area, like hot spot.
Yeah. And this is middle of the day. I didn't adjust for time or anything like that, but it's really important. So if you're going to work at Samsung, but you want to have close proximity to the Domain, which is kind of our hub area in Austin, like the second downtown area, then it's only 30 minutes, and it's probably even less. We're looking at like right here. Okay, so that puts us at 27 minutes. It's pretty solid.
This reminds me that this small town is still small. Like Austin's that small that Taylor's 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and then the goal for today, we want to talk about what our predictions are and what we're seeing for prices. But we have to keep bringing this up because, JJ, when was this factory actually supposed to be completed or started?
I have a news article that says break ground in 2022 with plans to be fully operational in 2024.
So that's right now. Okay. And the thing about Austin is we've talked about affordability and where people can buy. Any of these green areas are going to be more affordable than some of these gray areas in most cases. And affordable means the median home price is kind of correlates to the salary of your first responders.
And even to talk about Taylor coming through, Liberty cute though, 100% approved.
Hey guys, thank you.
Dinosaur D, don't tell them about my mining operation. Let's talk a little bit about the foundation of this. Dinosaur D, that's 32 minutes via Tesla, going 150 miles per hour. Tesla's in the picture still.
Well, this is important. Let's do it. Let's do Tesla. So the Giga Texas.
Point out to Tesla, Samsung,
30 minutes.
That part of the reason these companies are coming over here is because Texas is a fertile area for these entrepreneurs and businesses and tax incentives. And
yes, I know that these cities on the outskirts of town, you know, they're really trying to get more growth and more things to come there. So they are offering these business tax incentives. And I don't know if you guys know this, but at the end of 2022, the tax incentives for Taylor is going to go away. So that's probably what made them jump on announcing that they were going to come, because they needed to before it went away. Thanks, Dinosaur D. It's not as pretty as yours though.
I know, that's a good smile with the headphones. Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, those some chompers right there. What's up, Esteban Bernal?
How's it going? So yeah, like look at the distance. This is really solid to get to Giga Texas, and Giga Texas is only about 10 minutes to downtown, the other downtown Austin. So there's a lot of opportunity there. And along the way, like I said, you're hitting all these other places we talked about. So why don't we pull up this article, JJ, that you've got? We're going to share that.
All right. So this reads, this is a little bit about the neighboring towns, which we'll talk about more later. It talks about breaking ground this year with plans to be fully functional in 2024. So you could see this little town here. You see this D.R. Horton community. These are around the area. We have some ad space here, but this is definitely, to me, it's a rural space. So there's definitely room for builders, development. Like how would you describe Taylor, Pflugerville to Taylor, Hutto to Taylor?
Yeah, so there are a lot of cows, and during South by Southwest, I was chuckling because so many people were visiting here, and they're like, the best way to describe Austin, it's like Austin and a sea of cows. And it's true. There's a ton of land there that it's, agricultural land, farms, but it's a good old Texas town. They do have a small, tiny square where they have a little, there it is. It's showing it right there.
Yeah, that's why I wanted this to play. I love that.
A little town hall, in the center of the city with some little quaint things going on. And, but other than that.
Well, you see that places like D.R. Horton and some of these mass production builders are absolutely gravitating toward Taylor. So that's an indication of a high growth area. When you have 3 or 4 D.R. Horton subdivisions, them being the largest landowner in Texas, I think that's a consideration. Another thing, check this out. So you can see, seriously, they're killing me.
Maximizing impact and improving customer experiences.
It's killing me. Let me pause that.
Yeah, so I also wanted to talk about the housing. What do you think about affordability in the greater Austin area versus maybe a northeast town like Taylor?
I mean, I have been kind of advocating for Taylor and Hutto for a while, and it's not just because of those the Hutto hippos, because I do love
Hippos.
those
Hutto.
hippo statues are the cutest. But really, for people that are on a budget or people that are maybe working from home and don't have to travel far, there are a lot of opportunities to get a home under $300,000, which as of right now, you guys, that's like kind of unheard of. So I have pulled up some of these homes. We can kind of look at them if you want to.
Sorry. So
Let's see.
if anybody's
Resale.
ever ads, in fact, so Dinosaur D, I gotta get some sounds going.
Dinosaur
There we go. Can you
D,
hear that?
thank you so
Thank
much.
you
guys
so
are
much.
awesome.
We can use this to pay for the newspaper, so we don't have ads playing in the middle of our stream. It's so ridiculous. So for those of you that don't know, Dinosaur D just tipped us for spending our time educating everybody, and we truly appreciate it. Like I said before, check out our link. We've got a Discord open for any fans to just be able to reach us at any time and just ask questions that you want to.
We are engaging, Dinosaur D. You are very welcome. Esteban Bernal, when we were getting HEBs, Trader Joe's, and Whataburgers up in that area, when are we getting?
Ooh, Whataburger and HEB, those are interesting sites. We're going to have to look that up, and that's something that it might take a minute to search, but I do want to find that. That's a good one. HEB for sure. Whataburger, I don't care about, but if you do, more power to you.
I think that, really take a look at where HEB chooses to invest in. And if they go to a city, it's for sure like you need to watch it. I feel like you can.
Yeah, follow a smart company and you might be onto something.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some super cute, just like move-in ready homes in
I want to
Taylor.
go back to the 200s because you said 200s.
Yeah, I'm trying as I'm like scrolling around. So this one, 230. It's got an open house on Saturday, guys. No
What's
carpet.
that? Not even 1,200 square feet. 3-bed, 1 bath. What's the year built on that one?
Mockingbird Lane, built in 1930.
1930?
I think that's what it said.
But it's completely redone on the inside, right? Renovated?
Completely redone.
3-bed, 1 bath.
Yeah.
That does sound like 1930. 200s. So
we
the
got
older homes are in the 200s.
Two under, and then we have a ton of new construction.
Those are all new
Ton of
builds. Yeah.
construction. They're finding their way.
Here's a
There.
350 for 2,000 square feet, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. This one's so cute. 210. This little tiny 990. This is close to downtown Taylor. Now, this is another one of those, really older homes that have been redone.
So, JJ or Liberty, do you think that would be a good buy for an investor?
I think honestly, like we talk about this all the time, any advice I would give to an investor is put that money in some real estate in Texas. And the closer you can get to Austin, surrounding areas, the better.
Here, let's play around a little bit with the rental. What was that rental one?
It was $1,150.
What type of property was it?
I didn't see the square footage, but that's important, right? That's why I was asking that.
I could do a rent. We could do a rent to price ratio. Just guess it out, because it's the way I would answer an investor question is how do you want? There was a rental listing. It was like 1,100, 1,200 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's assume it was an older home in the 200s.
Here, yeah, that's not
1,300 for.
Let's just assume rent to price ratio.
You see,
yeah, because look, 1,850
for 1,600 square foot.
1,600 square feet. I mean, that's pretty.
What's the year built on that? I'm gonna assume that home is 320. So let's say you get a $320,000 house, rents out for $1,850. That rent to price ratio would be 0.578. Whatever investor thinks that's good. I think it's Austinish to me.
Can you believe that for $2,000 to $2,500 a month, you can get a rental in Taylor. Like if somebody told you that 3 years ago, what would you have said?
I'd be like, I think I'll pay that at the domain.
So here's what Estevan asks. Would you buy that 990 square foot home? So it was priced at 230. My personal worry, excuse me, is that it's not going to go for 230. It will be a bid probably for 260 cash. That's my worry about a house like that. We'll look at the numbers here in a second, but that's my answer. What do you guys think?
I think, I think I bought a house that was under 1,000 square feet. I've held on to it for about 8 years now, and I've seen that thing kind of double in value. So I say go for it, Esteban. If you've got the cash and you're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm making assumptions here because I saw a rental rate for $1,200. So Ian said I'll sell at 260. If I divide the rent to price ratio, the 1% rule, right? If it sells for 260,
right,
we should get $260,000. We should get $2,600. That's the 1% rule.
Yep.
Assuming a 1,200, of course, call one of us. We could do a better analysis. The rent to price ratio on 1,200 a month to a $260,000 property will be again around 0.5, which is half of the 1% rule. However, you think that might work. Sounds like a little negative cash flow, but like Liberty said, that appreciation doubles. Now you have some equity. So
if the plant is supposed to break ground today, this year, and be operational by 2024, even if it's 1 year after, then how do you see the property appreciation increasing by early 2025, right? So if you do buy this 990 square foot, you buy this 1,000 square foot house, you're spending $2,600, or you should be getting $2,600 a month. So you're negative a little bit, but your equity appreciation, I feel like it's going to be higher than many other places, considering the news around the growth of the area, specifically the news around the growth of the area.
Here's a laundromat, guys.
The thing is, this is all relative to the city of Austin. Let's just say this is the way I look at it.
Yes.
If the city of Austin at the median price point remains at almost 600 roughly?
Yep. Just under
median price point. It all relates. You go a little further out, you could get these little condominiums or little older houses in the 200s, because that's affordable. If it goes up more, median price point city of Austin 600 to 700 to 800, it's gonna make that go up. So if you think, I have to go to the city core to feel out the areas.
I'm gonna show what it looks like to stand downtown.
Woo! Look at that beautiful.
And the thing is, so when was this taken? This was March of 2021.
Let's go
so
down
a
Main
lot of
Street,
people
y'all.
weren't on the
Go down Main
road,
Street.
but cute little coffee place right here. Been there a few times. Most people head down this road. There used to be a title company. Longhorn Title was right here. I've done some closings there. Loans.
They had a cute little cafe.
Toledo loans.
I mean, if you think about it, like this is 290, right? Like,
yeah. Well, 79. For the price, yes.
Was that a movie theater? Let's go look at their property. That looks like Paramount Theater on Congress Avenue, y'all.
I just want there to be like a movement where people, that are priced out of Austin, artists, musicians, like, can't we just all flock to a town like this and just
if
you can't afford downtown Austin for walkability.
Well, there's a train there too. So we talked about it before. There is a train. Looks like Bryan back in the day. Who's been to Bryan, Texas? I'm assuming that's Texas because I don't know where Bryan is. And I've been to a lot of places.
College Station, I think, is what.
College Station.
Yes. Bryan and College Station. Okay. Isn't it an O? Is it an O? I don't know. Dinosaur D is down with the laundromat. Wash all that dirty Bitcoin I'm mining. Ooh, that's a good one. I like it.
Do you think there'd be like a tech company in one of those Taylor downtown offices?
Let's do it. Let's start a real estate office down there.
What are you talking about? We're virtual. So I'm pulling this up because I think it's important.
I guess Ian ain't going to the office.
No. No, man, I'm in the metaverse or something. Let's say that. I actually had my Quest on earlier. So check this out. These are, if you look in the area, these are Taylor houses, active and then under contract. And so what I want to show is you've got the square foot, the size of the acreage, the year, and then the number of bedrooms and bathrooms. So let's look at these prices. I know it's not real pretty, but it's good data so you can see. This house, for example, Gunther Way, 3-2, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, year built now, $400,000 is the list price. But if we go down and we look at, let's say, Beth here is a great example. Oh no, these are active under contract, so we still don't have the price. I'm gonna go to
sometimes the new construction companies will update them even if they're under contract.
Sometimes. So here's a better example. 505 Debus. So it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, built-in 74, 960 square feet, listed at 240, went for 260.
Yeah,
that's more what I wanted to show.
On the money there. Plus that one was just cute as a button, and it was so close to downtown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just redid the inside. They added some larger windows. Those can't be original. Those are beautiful. They're huge.
Virtual staging.
Garage.
Maybe. Yeah, virtual stage. I don't know. Nobody put Paisley.
Well, that isn't. But
and what is that? A leopard print on the wall?
It's probably the owners, maybe, Ian, not the stagers.
Oh, is that a cork board? I thought it was leopard print. Okay. Point is, like, the point is, it went for 20,000 over, right? That's specifically what I wanted to show, and I think that's going to happen a lot. And it probably went conventional. It didn't go cash. Interesting.
Cash is not always. I mean,
you didn't think they would take cash?
Well, so my assumption, just first glance, it is Taylor. So it's a little further out. Pardon me. But my initial assumption is that it would have been a cash loan for just over list, but it looks like they took a conventional for even higher than that,
like an
and probably had less to compete with, you know?
Appraisal waiver, probably.
Yeah, appraisal waiver and all that. Ooh, good point. You want to read this, Liberty?
This is what happens. This is what prices in Wells Branch looked like about 1.52 years ago. And Wells is 7 minutes from the Domain. Holy crap, prices have gone up.
Yes, that is
so weird.
Everything doubled. I mean, even the price of my sandwich has doubled. So I'm not shocked anymore as far as pricing goes.
Yeah. Were there any others that kind of stuck out to you?
As good opportunities?
Well, let's look at disparities. So this one listed at 289 went for 328.
New construction.
Okay, this is interesting. Why do you think this is interesting? Anybody?
Because the Grove at Bull Creek is not in Taylor.
Well,
what is that?
There are a couple things. It is, but check this out. It's a builder home. Listed at this price. But it was a bid because D.R. Horton always does bids. And so the person who placed the bid paid $328 to win it.
Yeah. Almost 10%.
10%, guys. And
that's the number I keep seeing, by the way.
This is a new construction. A lot of people go new construction, so they're like, so they don't have to play with the bid game. But there's only one neighborhood in D.R. Horton, and I've got a client under contract with it, almost two, that does not bid. Every other neighborhood in Central Texas near Austin, you have to bid on homes with D.R. Horton.
D.R. Horton in your bidding.
Also, let's talk about this. New construction generally brings a higher tax rate, 2.84. So you're in Taylor, you have a slightly higher tax rate. Monthly is $90 for your HOA.
I know. I would think that it would affect. I mean, it is affecting the closing price, and you're still at that closing price.
You are. And here's the other thing. You don't know. I'm assuming that it appraised like this, but when you're bidding, you usually have to pay the difference in advance. So if you know that it's a $40,000 difference, you have to pay that at the time that you're bidding
within 3 days. Yeah.
for
So you have
DR Horton. And I don't think a lot of people know that.
And sometimes, and have you guys been seeing like a lot more in earnest money with new construction? Like I've seen some crazy, like 5% up front.
Depends.
Yeah.
If it's like more custom or depends on the builder.
Well, again, I think it depends on the builder. I think it depends on the location, and they are at liberty to do whatever they want with the prices.
Rules. It's like the wild, wild west down here, guys.
It is Texas. So Dinosaur D asks, are builders still doing best and final offers, blind bidding? So we talked about DR Horton. Do you know anybody else who's doing that?
Oh, I mean, Pulte and Santa Rita Ranch. I mean, there's a ton. They call it the easy offer process.
I know. Yes. Pulte is one for sure.
And I can get it. I mean, it's like resale homes, you know, they're kind of aligning.
Yeah, but the whole reason that people lean toward new build is because you get something new and you don't have to bid. Like that's the reason
for it. Already big higher.
Yeah. So I know that Taylor Morrison
does it.
They do that, and
they do it like on the lots, like even before anything. It's like a weird lot bid.
Yes.
You don't. Even know the
they do on the
yet.
lots.
Like, really weird.
And also, if you guys have heard this past week, I've really been seeing a lot of new builders new construction are only doing inventory homes now instead of doing custom builds on lots. So that's a lot different. It's gonna shorten people's timelines, you know, because usually we think 14 months to build from the ground up, but now if they're going to be doing these inventory homes, you'll have to snatch one up and get in there within like 4 months.
Yeah.
Okay,
and also I wanted to point out that we're specifically talking about Taylor in this episode, but this is very relevant for these towns around the area like Gerald, Manor.
Well, let's
Elgin,
pull that back up. Yep.
Bastrop.
So we've got Taylor.
These rural, is that fair? Rural towns?
Rural. Yeah. Well, we need to know where Taylor is in conjunction with these other towns. So you hear Manor a lot and you hear Elgin a lot. So if you want to get to Austin, it's easier right now because of this 95 road. It's easier right now to either take 95 to 290. 95 is not a toll road, or to take 79 to 130, and 130 is a toll road. So until they widen this road here, until they widen this, what is this, a 970 CR 973, which they will probably do once the plant lands or just before. Until they do that, I think Elgin is a hot commodity.
And let me point out too, Ian still has his map going from Tesla Giga. So Manor, Elgin, Taylor still affected by Tesla and Samsung because Tesla's a little south of Elgin and Manor. It's all triangulated. People seeing that? Look at that. Look how we broke that map down for y'all. That deserves a like, subscribe, comment.
Well, I mean, like my brother works for Samsung on Parmer, so the one that's closer to the city, and he lives about 10 minutes away from it. But now that Samsung is moving to Taylor, he's like, man, I can't buy a house in Austin. I'm just going to buy a house in Taylor and move to that plant and work from that plant. So I feel like there will be like a shift of people going that way, and it's going to be really interesting, like what kind of infrastructure they're going to be able to provide to people moving there.
So let's think about exactly that. People who are buying around Taylor, let's say they work for Samsung or want to work for Samsung. Both of these factories are going to be open in 2 years. So there's one here.
Pray for our energy grid
here. And then Tesla is right down here. I know that Tesla, the only reason I bring that up is because it has, multiple partnerships with Samsung for their cameras and a couple other things. So, and that's opening up real soon. April 7th is the big party. They already
2 years is around the corner.
What was that?
Yeah, but what are home prices?
It is. So right here, 42 minutes if you take this road that I was talking about. That that hasn't been widened yet. But if you take 130 and you're willing to pay $5 in tolls, 30 minutes to get to the other
inflated, or like, is it going to go up because the population's not here, or is it already futuristic?
I love that question. Are you talking about just the prices or the roads or what?
Like Liberty said, what's the prices going to be in 2024? Or are we already at 2024 prices?
Well, and then, yeah, how many people are going to buy enthrall because they don't want to touch the $400,000 Taylor price or can't compete with cash at 260?
I'll buy
Or they'll
enthrall.
be commuting. I mean, I remember looking at Thorndale like
Yes.
5 years ago, and there were like $50,000 opportunities that were cute as a button,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I kept telling people, buy up Taylor.
Well, so let's think about that. Let's look at Thorndale. How far is it from Thorndale? I've actually done one. I did a sale in Rockdale. Whoa. I got my client an acre for an acre and a 3-bedroom 1-bath house, I think it was, for $88,000.
That's great.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow. I mean, last summer I sold a home in Smithville on 3 acres, cute
Where the
house.
heck is that?
It's like just a little bit south of Bastrop.
Oh. I've been there, but I don't spend a lot of time there.
Yeah, I've been sales in Smithville.
So, question for anybody who's watching this or seeing this: would you be willing to buy a house in Rockdale or Thorndale for the right price and drive the hour to get to the second downtown of Austin or the other Samsung plant, and then maybe only 35 minutes? Let's see, 30 minutes to get to the new Samsung plant. I'm curious about that.
Now.
But also, I want to congratulate John. They're finally closing on their home after 17 months. For those of you that don't know, a builder, even though they tell you it could be 6 to 9 months, they legally, most of them have the ability to go up to 2 years, and you can do zero about it. Just
Well,
throwing that out there.
I hope, John, that you guys are getting all excited to move, and let us know when the housewarming party is.
Nice. Heck yeah. Yeah, that would be beautiful. I forget where it is. Was it in Leander, John? And then Master Jedi says, I hear Bastrop has, I'm sorry, Dinosaur D says, I hear Bastrop has a Jedi problem. There's a guy named Master Jedi that normally watches this show and our Real Migos show too. Yeah, 17 months.
Random Bruh also says he's not going to do Thrall and he'd rather go to Houston.
I
Esteban
mean,
said
I
he'd
mean,
rather be
you know,
with
that's
HB.
I'm so glad that Random Bra brought that up, because
Bruh.
I
You're
mean,
saying
look
bra?
at Houston.
Bruh.
Look at
Random
Houston.
Bruh.
Random Bra.
Bruh.
I mean, the Woodlands, Spring.
Liberty, I'm worried about you.
What are all of these? What are all
Yeah,
of these?
there's a Houston version to this, like metropolitan.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
Esteban brings up a good point. Excuse me. You'd rather be in Taylor because it'll be closer to HEB and Whataburger. It will be more years before they end up in Thorndale. I don't know. I don't know where the other.
Taylor.
You know what? Why are we talking about it? We can look. We've got a map.
I would get like a condo in one of these downtowns just for walkability, just to go
Me
outside, get my coffee,
too.
say what's up to the neighbors, walk to a restaurant, go back home, maybe get drunk or something and walk home safely.
Is there an HEB in Taylor?
I'm just gonna stay at inside my
Probably.
house and do that.
You know what? I'm gonna do.
I like walkability. Those downtowns are super
Once
cool.
you
Like
look
those little-
for the HEB, then you can look for Chick-fil-A. Because if there's a Chick-fil-A, I'm going now.
Is that it? There's no HEB over here.
Oh,
All right, guys.
Oh, that's so
Like
crazy.
a Berkshire Brothers, bringing it back. I like small town living. I really do.
it's peaceful.
Just don't know how these
Oh, there you go.
people are going to feel about.
City
There's
Slickers.
an HEB and a Walmart over here.
HEB commercial real estate team sleeping at the wheel in Wilco.
Ah, Cedar Park. Yes, he's inviting us. John S is inviting us to his housewarming.
I'll
Let's
bring
do
the
it, John.
champagne, John.
Yeah,
look. Esteban says, HEB commercial real estate team sleeping at the wheel in Wilco. You are probably correct. Or they're not sleeping and they have dormant land and they've already purchased it. They just don't have it advertised on Google Maps.
I mean, is there a way that we can find that out where HEB has purchased land?
There is.
Yeah, most
cities have a project release schedule that you can find, and every city has it in a different location, but it's usually on the city's website. There's some kind of commercial projects that have been approved. What was that?
Companies have the real estate teams too.
Oh yeah, HEB has the real estate, the relocation teams. They've already pre-planned the managers that are going to work there after. I mean, I'm assuming I don't work for
They
HEB,
have it together. I mean, the
they
way
do
that
have it together.
the way that they just navigated the pandemic as well as the freezing, like HEB for president 2023. That's all
I know, right? I think that's really funny. So what do you think about the houses? Do you think that people should invest in Taylor if that is in their budget? You think they should do that today?
I mean, if you had $250,000 to spend on real estate,
300. Let's go with 300.
I would still say buy a condo somewhere down.
Closer to Austin?
I would.
Like Austin.
What are you thinking, JJ?
If I were to put my money where my mouth is, my recent investment money went to another area. Although I do have a property in Central Austin, but it's really hot. It's great. I am bearish or bullish on Austin in general, but if the growth is so dramatic, I just wanted to put my money somewhere where it wasn't as dramatic.
Was it Hutto, JJ?
Man, I went to Florida. but
JJ!
Wow.
but I'm still looking. That's why
Yeah.
if you have any investment advice.
Here's what I tell all my clients when they're like my investor clients specifically, not my first time buyers or anything like that, but my investor clients. I say, look at where you have to travel to get to the next big place. So from Austin to Houston, what road is that? 290. If you can get close to 290, I feel like you have an unlimited growth potential because all along here is going to continue to grow. Kind of the same thing with 35. You know,
Yeah.
Don's tornadoes. This takes you to Waco, Dallas, San Antonio, and New Mexico.
I'm talking about San Austonio.
San Austonio. It's happening whether you like it or not, right? So I try to recommend that my investors stick near major thoroughfares unless it's just a killer deal, right? So 79 could be a killer deal if Taylor is going to appreciate beyond other areas as a direct correlation to their particular growth and their factory being dropped in the Austin area.
Dan's already spill the beans.
Oh, he's trying to find out where
He wants to know. You know what? I actually know where it is. Guess where it is?